everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the Women in Tech panel. My name is Alina, and I'm so excited to have this incredible group of people. And I will start by introducing Katie Delgado, the VP of Engineering at Forbes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Really happy that you're here today. It's very exciting to have all of these fantastic women up on the stage. Just to introduce myself, my name's Katie Delgado, as said. I'm VP of Engineering at Forbes, and I also do a column for women in tech specifically, and men, of course, anyone who's interested, but mainly for women. And that's on the Forbes site. It's called Hey Tech Lady. I just put out a new article today, so check me out if you have a minute and want some advice. But as far as the conference, a couple of rules, a couple of things to know before we get started. Well, first of all, this is our third ever JNUC WIT panel, so Women in Tech panel. So this is something that's becoming more and more prevalent and important, and we're glad that you're here to hear us. And then also, we're not going to be taking live questions. We're just going to be, having me moderate and ask the questions, and everyone listen. Then also, this is being recorded, you should know, so will be available for replay on September 29th. We're doing some themes today for the questions. It's going to be about recruitment, retention, and recognition. I also want to say thank you to our ASL interpreter. His name's Gray. Thank you, Gray. And with that, I'd like to introduce our panelists. Let's start with Lynn on the end.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Lynn Lamb, Chief Information Officer here at Jamf. Then I was telling a couple people, today is my 1-year anniversary with Jamf to the date, so I really like to play the new girl card, and I think that officially expired today, so I can't do that anymore. But yeah, so glad to be here.
Julie Cullivan. I am currently a board director, but my previous operating roles were in a variety of tech companies, both technical and non-technical. I started my career before I would ever want to mention the year, but it was a fun 30-plus years.
Hi, everyone. Anisha Vaswani. I'm the CIO at Toast, and happy to be here, a Jamf customer, and I think I have a couple of folks attending, so happy to be here.
Hey all, I'm Amy O'Connor. I serve as an internal communication manager at Jamf, and I also serve as the president of the Women at Jamf board, which is our employee resource group.
All right, thanks so much, everyone. With that, I'm just going to dive into some questions. We're going to start with the recruitment topic. So the first question I have, so we're going to aim this one at Anisha. In your experience, how have you seen companies find success recruiting women and diverse talent into technology roles?
Yeah, great question. I think two things come to mind. One is intentionality, right? You have to be intentional and thoughtful about recruiting and think about the whole experience. So in my world, for example, that starts with how you write a job description, right? And being very thoughtful about what you require versus what are desired skills, really honing in on what's necessary, thinking about the language you use when you're describing. There's a lot of data, as many of you know, I see a lot of nodding heads about how a job description is written really matters in terms of the pool of candidates you attract for it. So we pay attention to things like that. We pay attention to making sure our interview panels are diverse, right? So I actually got this feedback from one of the people that interviewed for my team. She joined my team as a technical architect, but when she was going through the interview, all the other architects that interviewed her were male. And she pointed that out to me and said, is that the makeup of your team? And I said, no, it's not at all the makeup of my team, and I'm sorry we came across that way. And so that's something we've deliberately introduced a change around. We do not have non-diverse panels anymore. We are very thoughtful about doing that. And so I think intentionality, thinking about what experience you're providing, thinking about what you really need to recruit for, I think that's important. Being intentional about where you recruit. So I think, very passionate about finding non-traditional sources of talent, where people have potentially don't have a CS degree or a technical degree, but have gone through boot camp or learned on the job. I think, that's a really untapped source of talent for us just as leaders in this industry where we're always there's always a dearth of talent. And then I think the other thing you need to do is really be measuring. And so data goes a long way. What gets measured gets done in an organization. So good, bad, or ugly, and often our numbers aren't great, but it is important to look at, to track, to instrument your data collection so you understand what's going on in your organization. I've been at Toast relatively short tenure, a little bit longer than Lynn, but at my previous company, you know, we did a really deep dive in our data in terms of understanding both recruitment, retention, growth, and that really helped put us on the right path in terms of what actions we need to take. So those would be my 2 cents.
Please add.
Yeah, I was just going to add one. You can't start looking for diverse talent the day the job description opens. You need to be looking for it and sourcing diverse talent much earlier than that. So I think that's an important thing to think about, is having somebody in the organization that, whether it's their full job or their part-time job, it's that they're really actively building relationships ahead of jobs opening in order to, when they do open, have a pipeline of folks that you can bring into those roles.